In 1983, a Henan village. After a wedding banquet, one whole family vanished. Untouched dishes left. 35 years old. Hikers crash in deserted hamlet. Faded sheet signs line doors, windows. They photograph the room. Morning. Each shot shows the same face outside every window. That face was the bride who vanished years ago. Autumn 1983. Deep in Henan's Funyu Mountains, Laoguling village. Old Zhao's only son at the village's east end married. His bride, Shu, came from a poorer mountain hollow, also quite shy. 8 feast tables. After dark, lamps blazed, and toasts and laughter rode the mountain wind. Next noon, a helping neighbor since the Zhao house was deathly quiet. The gate was ajar. Inside, one look made everyone's scalp crawl. The cups and plates were still on the tables, the food and wine almost untouched. The chopsticks were laid neatly, as if the feast had just begun when the people vanished. Inside and out, Zhao's 7, the new bride, and close kin staying over, 11 total, vanished without trace. All at once, king bed tidy, stove cold, pots clean. No signs of struggle. Outside mountain cops came in waves, questioned for ages, then left shaking heads. It was like the mountain road swallowed them, no clues. Laoguling grew ever lonelier. The Zhao courtyard and nearby homes lay abandoned, a no-go zone for hunters. Only the faded old window paper was left, rustling in the wind. 35 years later, summer 2018. 2 off-road SUVs stopped by the ruined wall at Laoguling's entrance. 5 came down. Leader Chen Dao, girlfriend Xiaoya, cousins Da Liu and Ji, and Linda, stressed worker. They planned to trek the backcountry, but storms and landslides wiped out the route. GPS drifted. Dusk near, so they found shelter nearby. This village is on the map. Laoguling looks almost abandoned now. Chen Dao eyed the broken GPS, then the crooked, silent houses at dusk. Still better than soaking in rain. Da Liu hefted his bag. Tiny village, under 20 homes. Roofs caved in, walls leaning, weeds and broken tiles everywhere, and the thick air reeked of rot and dust. At last they stopped before a mostly intact courtyard on the village's east side. The gate stood. 2 worn doors shut, unlocked. Chen Dao pushed the door. A horse creaked. Courtyard wide. Weeds sprouted between bluestone slabs. Ahead stood 3 bays of blue brick tile rooms. The lattice window paper had torn. Westward, half-collapsed stove shed. All lay in thick dust and webs. What drew the eye were faded. Pale pink paper cut, double happiness signs on the house doors and windows. Stuck inside lattice, and on door backs. Crooked and rushed. It felt oddly wrong. Why is the happiness sign pasted inside? Xiaoya softly muttered, edging toward Chen. Old mountain rule, block the wind. Chen Dao won't dwell on it. Quickly clears a sleeping spot, settles in now, in the house. The center was a hall, with a bedroom on each side. The left was slightly bigger. The bed was sturdy, yet dust, right side smaller, piled with broken tools and ruined furniture. In the hall, dusty tables and chairs were wiped quickly. Da Liu and Ji cleaned out the large room on the left. Chen Dao and Xiaoya would sleep on bedrolls on the floor of the main hall. Linda took the right cubby, shoved aside broken farm tools to make room. Something feels off here. Linda frowned, laying her mat, sensing eyes in the dark. Abandoned villages do that. I'm scaring myself. She spoke, yet repeatedly glanced at the faded double happiness sign in window. At dusk, light through broken window bars dyed the pale, double happiness sign sinister red. Night fell pitch black. Only headlamps and flashlights glowed. Wind moaned, and a distant night bird cried out softly. To calm things down, Chen Dao suggested, before bed, each of us photos our room. Tomorrow we compare for proof. Everyone agreed. In dim light, Phi snapped a bedtime panorama. Linda avoided uneasy corners, shooting only her floor bed area and opposite wall. Shutter clicks in silence. Photos done. Fatigue and mountain cold roll in. Each slips into a sleeping bag, at once to sleep. One small camp light stayed on dim. Darkness and silence felt solid, closing in. Outside, wind and faint noises grew loud too. Linda slept uneasily, sensing faint breaths beside her bed, almost a tiny laugh. She opened her eyes. Only blackness everywhere, alone, half awake, half dreaming. The windows stark white. She characters seemed to drift. Late night, Xiaoya suddenly woke to clacking like nails on hardwood. It came from the main hall door, pasted inside with double happiness paper signs. Door unmoving, noise dead. Her heart hammered. She shook Chen Dao. He only mumbled, still asleep. She listened, but Xiaoya tightened sleeping bag, stayed awake. Age dreamed he stood in the yard. Faceless figures circled him, in rags. Smiling silently, he tried to flee, but his feet had taken root. The night dragged on. Dawn barely showed. Chen Dao woke and shook Xiaoya awake. Her eyes ringed dark from sleeplessness. Da Liu and Ji yawned away. Linda didn't stir. Linda, delight, get ready to move. Chen Dao called in, no answer. Chen Dao enters. Linda lay in her sleeping bag, eyes fixed on the ceiling, face pale, body shaking, gripping her phone hard. Linda, what's wrong? Her eyes slowly shifted to him. Lips quivered. She couldn't speak at all. She just held her trembling phone screen up to his face. Chen Dao took the phone. It was the panoramic picture Linda had taken before bed. In the photo, his spread mat faced the wall. Corner shadows and broken farm tools still seemed normal. But looking closer, blood froze. In the photo, beyond the lone shattered window with faded double happiness decals, several faces pressed blurred frame. No, not many faces, just the same one. A young woman's face, unnaturally pale skin, thin arched brows, lips painted too vivid and eerie, unnatural bright red. She was smiling, her mouth stretched from ear to ear, but there was no mirth in her eyes, only a chilling, direct stare. The same smile, warped and squeezed into countless poses, repeats densely, filling the outside window view. It was as if countless versions of him were scrambling to peek in from outside the window. This is bullshit. Linda, don't joke around. Chen Tao's voice was hoarse. Linda shook her head wildly, crying, pointing to phone. Then the real window, outside, only dawn's gray light and wild grass. I checked the photo I took too. Xiaoya turns pale, hurriedly yanking out her phone in pain. Last night, she shot a full room panorama in the main hall. When she tapped it open, she screamed. The phone dropped into dust. Chen Dao retrieved in Xiaoya's photo. Outside two larger hall windows with happiness decals. The same pale, red-lipped grin packs tighter. More. Mine? Da Liu and Ji panicked. Search phones. Shocking. In the photo of the main house taken by Da Liu and Ji, outside that window, there were still countless hers. Chen Tao's fingertips went cold. He opened his other angle hall photo. It was identical. 5 photos. 4 windows. Outside each, the same woman's smiling face, like a copied nightmare, clinging to every pane we hid behind overnight. Last night, they were outside, watching us all night. Xiaoya's voice was broken. Go now. Go. At once. Chen Dao screamed in terror. Nobody objected. An unprecedented fear gripped everyone. They hastily rolled sleeping bags and gear, staggered from the eerie mansion, sprinted through weed-choked lanes, to the SUV outside, until the car started and drove far away. No one on board spoke. There was only heavy panting. Linda trembled. Chen Dao clenched the wheel, palms cold with sweat. That eerie grin kept flashing in his mind again. Also, faded double happiness decals stuck inside doors and windows there. Why were the she, happiness, characters pasted on the inside? Was it not for celebration at all, but to block something, to prevent it from getting out of the house, or to prevent some kind of gaze from the outside from easily leaving? Could this thing, or the source of this gaze, be? He recalled that before hiking into the mountains, he'd seen a yellowed, torn missing person notice on a wall near the county's old bus station, showing a black and white portrait of a young woman with thick braids and a shy face. The text was blurry. A notice seeking a bride missing for years, surnamed Su, with old Zhao's address attached. He dismissed it as stale news. Now, the blurry Timid face on the missing poster merges with the phone's pale, red lip, eerie grin, and deep dread chills my bones. He instinctively glanced at the rearview mirror, seeing the back window. Outside, mountains and trees raced backward, but in that fleeting blur of green, he seemed to see that pale face again, pressed against the rear window glass, its red lips curled up, smiling right at him. Chen Dao stiffened, locked on the rearview mirror. Only an empty back seat and normal woods outside. Just imagination. After nothing there, I must be too nervous. Seeing thing, he forced himself to turn his head back and focus on the road, but his foot involuntarily pressed deeper on the accelerator. Car jolted on mountain road, speeding out, fleeing. No one dared look back toward Laowa Ridge. No one dared think further. If those faded happiness papers pasted inside doors and windows were truly some kind of seal, then so, by breaking in and staying the night, had they unintentionally torn something open? Outside the window, countless identical smiles. Are they really only meant to be watched forever? Miss Sue, the missing bride, should look shy. Why does her face in every photo wear the same eerie, deeply unsettling smile instead now? In these 35 years, under the forgotten desolation of Old Gua Ridge, what exactly happened? These questions, like icy vines, coil around every insider's heart, and may be impossible to